man who knows baseball more than a lot of people. John, Baseball Avino. What's up, John?
Hey, Billy, what's going on?
Wait, John, we got to do it first. Everybody hits! Turn two! John, another series win, John. They continue to play good ball, John, but I do know that you wish that they would play a little more small ball here, John.
Absolutely.
Why don't you break that down for us here, John, for a couple minutes? Go ahead, John.
Well, if you see the other night too, was that bunt by Marchand. Perfect bunt, moves the runners up. That's the way small ball is played. Like a couple nights ago, at first and second, nobody out. JT was up, and Ruben Romero said, JT hasn't bunted probably in 5 years. It doesn't matter whether he hasn't bunted in 5 years. You got to move the runners. When you're not hitting the ball, you got to make runs yourself, and that's the way you do it. You know, and that's the way I look at it. Small ball is where it's at. But they're pitching. They got hell of a pitching staff.
What Sanchez had?
Pitcher of the month.
What Sanchez have yesterday? 13 ground balls.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And Wheeler, pitcher of the month. It's amazing.
Look, the thing is, John, Wheeler deserved it, but we had technically 3 pitchers that could have won pitcher of the month. I'm still want to see if all 3 of the pitchers for the Phillies are going to make the All-Star game.
Definitely going to make the All-Star game. I think Wheeler's ERA for the month was like 0.5 or something like that, wasn't it? He gave up 2 more runs, so he gave up. That's amazing.
Dude, I think Zach Wheeler's probably one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, he is. I mean, he might be the best pitcher in baseball, in my opinion.
There's no doubt about it. And like this year has a shot for the Cy Young. I hope he doesn't get cheated this year because he's really pitched well. And he pitches late in the game, and he throws over 100 pitches. Seems like he gets stronger as the game goes on, and they do.
John, there was a poll today on the radio, and I'm going to break it down for you. They said, do you think if the Phillies don't win a World Series in Harper's era, do you think it's a fail?
That's a good question.
65% of the people said yes.
That's a good question. Wow.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know, dude. They win a World Series. I think it's great. It doesn't matter. If you look back at the 1983 World Series when the Phillies played the Orioles, and John Denny was Cy Young that year. I don't know if you remember John Denny, but he was Cy Young. And Michael Jack Schmidt was MVP of the National League. You know what he batted in the World Series, Mike Schmidt?
What?
0.50.
Wait.
One hit.
What year is this? 83, right?
83.
Oh, yeah.
He had one hit with 20 at-bats. So, I don't think it's a fail. Because Michael Jack was MVP that year. He had over 40 home runs. And they didn't, if he would have hit, they would have probably won the series.
I don't think it's a fail. I think the Phillies can win it this year, but they got a hit in the playoffs. Their pitcher's going to do so much, and like I told you, they're carried by their starting pitching.
Well, if you look, like I said, again, in that 1983 World Series, you got to remember, Cal Ripken Jr. was on the Orioles. The Phillies won the first game 2-1. Gary Maddox hit a home run in the 7th, and John Denny got the win. Then the Orioles come back to win the next game. But the next 3 games were at home, and the Phillies dropped 3 in a row at home. You know what their record is in the World Series games lifetime?
What, at home?
At home.
What is it?
10 wins and 13 losses.
That's not good, is it?
No, it's not good. That's a home World Series. You know, when they played Arizona, they lost 2 games at home. They just can't win at home in the World Series. But during the season, dude, they clobber people. But when the World Series comes, they choke.
Remember when we played the Astros? We clobbered them that one game, and then we couldn't hit the last 2?
think about it. Think of what I'm saying. It's like, no, I don't think it's a fail. Nah, I don't. They win a World Series without Harper, and they can do that because of that pitching staff. They can. So I'm looking forward to it. I really think they have a shot at it. I mean, they got the Dodgers number. Even in 1983, they beat the Dodgers 3-1. They seem like they always have a good, outcome when they play the Dodgers.
Well,
I'm not worried about the Dodgers, really. I mean,
John, I'm not worried about any team, but we got to hit. I trust our pitching, but we got to hit because they're probably going to go with 3 pitchers as of right now, and it's probably going to be Wheeler, Sanchez, Suarez, Luzardo, Game 4. Excuse me.
Yes, there's no doubt. That's the way it should be.
Nola's probably going to go to the pen with Painter.
So you also back in the day, if you think about it, the pitchers batted.
I know.
Dude, can you imagine a manager having to make a choice and the pitcher's throwing a good game, having to pull that pitcher because of a batter? There was a lot more thinking involved.
I like that the pitchers don't bat because now our pitchers can go deeper.
I don't know, dude. They went deeper then too. If they were pitching a good game, they weren't coming back. Some of the pitchers hit the ball. You got to remember they're athletes.
Zach Wheeler hit a little bit. Zach Wheeler could hit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're athletes, so they should be able to hit. Some of them.
Remember the World Series game where Joe Blanton hit a bomb?
Yes. He hit a blast. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many decisions that are made now by analytics instead of from a baseball mind.
If you were a manager, would you rather the pitcher hit or pitcher DH?
Actually, I like the DH.
If you were a manager back in the day, like I know you were a manager, but you never managed an MLB. If you were a manager in MLB and your pitcher was pitching a good game and your team was losing,
wow.
And it was in the 7th, 6th inning, say, and your pitcher's only giving up 1 hit, okay? You guys are down 1-0 in a playoff game, do or die. Would you take him out to go to the bats, pinch hitter?
It would depend on my bullpen. I mean, like,
if you had the Phillies bullpen this year.
Oh no, I would never take him
out. You wouldn't go to the pinch hitter?
No, I wouldn't take him out.
How about I'll give you something a little easy to work with, a mediocre bullpen. We'll go with like a mediocre bullpen, not great, not bad bullpen.
Well, if say he got a runner on first and the pitcher was up, I'd have him square away. I'd have him move the runner. That's what I would have him do to keep him in the game. Because you got to figure that they're when they're batting practice too, and they're bunting too. Now they don't have to do that no more. That's why I can't see why they only go 100 pitches. I don't get that no more.
Thompson's the kind of guy that does his pitcher between 90 and 100 pitches. The other day, Sanchez only threw 85.
Yeah, and he took him out of the game. Which is fine because they had a big lead at that time, right? What was it, 5-1?
Yeah.
So they really didn't have to waste him. But he was pitching better and better as the game went on. He didn't walk nobody, right?
No, I don't think.
No. I don't think he's walked anybody.
The game before, Mick Abel was terrible.
Yes. He had a bad outing. And I think it's because they canceled the game he was supposed to pitch. And I think it took effect on him. He's a young pitcher. He doesn't have the mentality yet of when things happen like that. And that's out of their control. So they had to skip his rotation.
We'll see what happens when he goes Monday in San Francisco. He should be going Monday because he pitches after Wheeler.
So he pitches after Wheeler for sure.
Well, they both had the doubleheader unless they put Wheeler Sanchez. Wait, is it? No, it's usually Sanchez. I wonder if they're going to go Sanchez and then back to Abel. So
they may.
It's usually Sanchez before him.
And don't we had a day off today, so we got 2 afternoon games, and then we play all next week, and that's it, right?
Yeah, we got Luzardo tomorrow, then Suarez, then Wheeler. Then we should have Sanchez. Because they both pitched on the same day, so it doesn't matter who pitches when.
Well, I feel that right now our pitching is getting us there. So if he starts to play hit and run and bunting more and stealing more, which it seems like he's doing, he's starting to create the ambiance of small ball here and there.
Then we have McAble or Sanchez McAble. I would pitch probably Sanchez game one if he can go because if what in San Fran because you always want to get that first game.
Right, they're playing the Giants, and who do they play? Arizona?
No, San Diego again.
And then Arizona.
No, then they're done. Then they come back and play the Angels.
Oh, so it's the Reds, Giants, Padres?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I really think that this year it just seems really, positive with the pitching and starting pitching. And the relief, I don't know. Even Corcoran's looking a little bit better, but when you put a guy like Strom in the game, you feel like you're in trouble. These guys walk too many guys, and that's what hurts them. And then when they get ahead of the count, they start to groove one. You can't do that. You got to work around these guys. But I just think that.
When the Phillies were playing the Padres the other day, they had so many bums that came in the game. I was like, I never even heard of this Daniel Robert fella.
Yeah, because they're struggling, the Padres.
I know.
They brought up a few guys. They're struggling, so you're going to see that. But
I was looking at the Phillies, and the Phillies have a lot of bad guys in their bullpen. I knew they had a lot, but they have a lot. Like if the Phillies guys in the bullpen can just come in and throw strikes, I think they would be a lot better. But they come in and their problem is they come in and throw too many balls.
And now you have to face three batters, right? Isn't that the rule?
Yeah. So say a guy pitched to the bottom of the sixth, and then they brought him back out. He's got to face two more batters.
Right, and that didn't have to happen before because I remember a lot of times they would bring a pitcher in for one batter, and then they would flip-flop pitches for the next batter. They were trying to play the odds. But these guys here today have to pitch to three batters, which I don't know what the reason it is for. I don't get that, but.
John, when you were a manager, did you know when your pitcher didn't have it?
Oh, absolutely, you knew it.
So when he didn't have it, did you wait or did you just pull him right away?
It depends on the situation. I wouldn't pull him right away, but if he started to walk a few batters, like the other night when he walked 5 batters, that was way too many.
You would have took him out.
Oh, he would have been out.
And what would you have said to him? You don't have it tonight, son? Today, son?
Yeah, especially a young kid trying to be a part of the major league. You go to the mound and say, you just don't have it today. And he goes, tough one. And just let it go. And then next time he comes back, he's going to rebound. And he will. I mean, they waited too long because they could have won that game. I mean, we can't win.
Like I said, if we won that first game, that would have definitely took all the air out of the Padres for the second game.
Yes.
If they blew a 6-0 lead, we might have killed them even more in game 2. Because I've seen that happen. Remember times when we were down in Georgia and we got killed up a big lead, the Braves come back, then the next day we win or we get killed, we win, and in the third game we get smoked. Or even a doubleheader when we blow a big lead in game 1, then the next game in game 2 they just get smoked. Like all the air is out of the building.
It was crazy because, when you read back on those World Series games, because I like going back, the time they lost to the Orioles, they had Pete Rose, I think he was 42, and they had Joe Morgan on the Phillies. I think he was like 37, 38. And it was another guy that they had. I think it was Tony Perez. He also was like 38, 39. I mean, they got to the World Series with those players.
Did they have Carlton on that team still?
Yes, they did.
Do you think he's the best pitcher in Phillies history?
He probably is. He probably is right now. Yes, I think, he's number one. I mean, Kurt Schilling, if he would have stayed here, Kurt Schilling was a hell of a pitcher.
Do you think Zach Wheeler's going to crawl up that list eventually?
There's no doubt. There's no
He's
doubt.
crawling up that list right now, man.
Oh, my God. It's like when he takes the mound, you know he's not giving up any runs. Even if he puts runners on base, he works out. He's a pitcher. He's a pitcher. He knows what he's doing. All these guys do. Look, Sanchez, Suarez, these guys know what they're doing. I mean, like, dude, there's something about this staff that really makes you.
Which staff would you rather have? There was a question, a poll. I didn't really do it, but wait, let me do it. It'd be either ready? Doc Holliday, Roy Oswald, Cole Hamels, Cliff Lee, or would you rather have Suarez, Zach Wheeler, Sanchez, and Jose Luzardo?
Listen. Those other four guys, they were lights out too, dude. I mean, think about what you just said.
Dude.
You're talking about Hall of Famers right now.
Dude.
You know?
We lost a 1-0 game. I know, it ain't Holiday's fault, but I can't believe that. We lost a 1-0 game. John Jay hit a triple in the corner, and then Pujols, I think, either Pujols or the number 2 batter got him in. I think I might have been the number. I think we got the 2 batter out, and Pujols hit a single or something. But a 1-0 game, John.
I'm still pissed at the Arizona series. Up 3 games to 2 and coming home for 2 games, and not.
I know, but Thompson blew that series before then.
Yeah,
Kimbrel, he kept Kimbrel in because he was there all year. The man didn't have it. If Kimbrel closes up one of those games, we come back, okay? We might have lost game 3, John, because we didn't hit. Big deal. We're still up 2-1. If the big game that cost us the whole series, John, I don't know if it would have cost us, but is that game 4. We were beating them up.
Right.
We were up by like 3 to 4 runs, and we lost.
1993. They're winning 6-5 in the 9th inning, and they got their best reliever on the mound.
I know.
And he picked up that 3-run homer.
I know. You'll never hit a bigger home in your life, Joe.
Come on. I mean, think about the times we get to the World Series and we lose.
I know, but what do you think Mitch Williams feels like? You know, you remember when you gave up that homer, Mitch? He's like, don't remind me.
He probably never got over it.
Yeah, I know.
He smoked that ball. I mean, like, think about it. We were winning 6-5. This guy smokes the ball.
I mean, I know that would have got him to a Game 7, but you don't know what would happen in Game 7.
No, and that's exactly right. Because I think if they would have won that game, they would have probably won Game 7. But we can't go back now because, you know.
Because he threw him the fat ball, John.
Joe Carter, though, man. Joe Carter.
Yo, did you see any of the game last night, John? Between the Blue Jays and Yankees? Not last night, the night before. No, it was last night because I was watching it on my TV. Yankees were up. Blue Jays scored 7 in the first. Yankees came back 7. It was 9-7. And Judge, man, this is what I'm getting. The manager walked him. They said it. Walked him 4 times in the series, right? Intentionally walked him. Last night there was a base open. They could have walked him to get the Bellinger. They didn't walk him. And what do you think Judge does?
Homer.
He hits a homer. Blue Jays did eventually go on to win the game like 12-10, but it was a good game.
So, I think last night Bellinger was hot, though, right? I think Bellinger was hot because he had a couple. I think he had a home run. He had a few hits. So I'm guessing he's taking his chances. Maybe pitch around Judge.
Righty on righty, probably.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. But
what would you have done? Would you have faced Bellinger or Judge?
Oh, definitely Bellinger.
Would you have put up the 4 fingers?
Definitely, I would have just stuck him on first. He ain't swinging at anything. He's gold, dude. He's like the gold rush.
He's the best hitter in the baseball, I think, Judge.
There's no doubt.
Who's a better hitter, Judge or Ohtani? I think Judge.
Come on, it's Judge. There's no doubt. It's Judge.
John, you would have been like this. I don't want him facing me. Go, big boy, you're going to first.
No, the whole thing is, too, sometimes if you think about it, like, would you walk Judge if it was up bases loaded and he was up and you were up like 3 runs? Would you walk intentionally to get to the next guy?
No, I would take my chances with him.
Yeah.
You know, but Joe Madden, was it Joe Madden? Yeah, Joe Madden did that with Barry Bonds.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Do you think Barry Bonds is the best hitter to ever live?
It's one of them.
Do you think Barry Bonds should be allowed in the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely. Pete Rose, too. Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, all those guys.
Everyone's saying Barry Bonds took steroids, but everyone did it back in the day. It wasn't just Barry Bonds.
Listen, they all knew this stuff. I don't care. They have trainers. These guys know what's going on in there.
Do you think they...
Don't you think?
Yeah, I do think, John. John, our boy's coming back August 19th, Avocado.
He's able to pitch?
August 19th, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what I read. He's allowed to come back August 19th. It doesn't matter, John. He's not allowed in the playoffs.
Yeah, but we might need it down the stretch with him back. I think that would be big. Because, September is a big month, man.
It is a big...
Right?
Yeah, they're not going to put him in closer situations.
I think it's good. I didn't think he was coming back. I guess he would still have to.
John, when did he get suspended? He got suspended in like June, July, May, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 80 days, 80 games.
So he'll be back, which is a good thing, because I think they're going to need him. It's going to be close. I mean, the Mets aren't bad, but they don't have the pitching we have. They really don't. Nobody does. Nobody has the pitching that we have. They don't. Dude.
We played the Mets 2 days in Citizens Bank Park, and the only day they scored 5 runs was when they were playing Mick Abel, and they scored 11 or 10.
Think about that. And that's what I'm saying.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we need Aaron Nola back in our rotation as our 5th starter.
I think that you're right. I think he's got to go be number 5.
Well, he's not gonna pitch in the playoffs.
We're hoping that he comes back like the old Nola, because if he does,
look. Even if he comes back at the old Nola, John, like Rob Thompson can't kiss up to Nola because he's Aaron Nola signed the $100 million contract. Phillies are in first place right now because of 3 pitchers. Well, technically 4. Luzardo too. They're not in first place because of Nola. When Nola was here, he was one of the worst pitchers in the league. And I'm hoping, what Uncle Perry said, I'm hoping to God he was hurt. And I'm hoping to God when he comes back that I see Nola from last year down the stretch when we won like 12 games.
Right. Now, you can look back now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They signed him last year, right?
Before last year, yeah.
Can you imagine, like, you're sitting there, Drabowski, and you're going, I got Wheeler. I got Sanchez. I got Suarez. And I don't know if they had Luzardo at that time, but...
They didn't. They signed him this year.
Bendable, if you think about it. What bendable? I mean, think about it. I mean, now he's long-term here. Who the hell wants his contract? Maybe he could get traded, but I don't think he wants to go anywhere. But I would think, like, a lot of people will like Aaron Nola. We don't really need him anymore.
I want to know, does Aaron Nola have a no-trade clause in that contract?
Exactly. Does he?
If he has a no-trade clause, we're 51-36. He's not going to want to go anywhere.
I know.
So I think the Phillies are screwed with Aaron Nola.
Exactly.
He's a veteran pitcher. Sometimes organizations put veteran shit in their contracts.
Okay, so he comes back, and he's decent. Now what do you do in the playoffs?
I'm still not starting him over those 3 unless Suarez or Sanchez while Wheeler's locked in. But unless maybe those 2 have a meltdown. I'm not worried about Sanchez. I'm going to see what Suarez does in the second half first. Last year, I think Nola, if he comes back, is going to probably battle Luzardo for a Game 4 spot. That's it.
Okay.
I think Because I think Painter, they're not going to start in the playoffs. I think he's going to go to the bullpen just because he's young. They're trying to save his arm this innings.
I'm just trying to figure out, like,
I think if Nola comes back August and September and pitches better than Luzardo down the stretch, I think there's a chance he starts in the playoffs over Luzardo.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's Thompson. Our coach is Thompson. And my point is that I'm kind of worried where he's going to pitch Wheeler than Nola
What do you mean, John?
in the playoffs.
You know Wheeler's starting game 1.
Right, but then Nola might be game 2, dude. That's what I'm worried about because he's the type of coach that would do that. Me, personally, I would tell him, it says, you're not gonna start the first 3 games. You might start game 4. Because I know for a fact the way Thompson coaches, he's your number 2.
Hey, he didn't do it last year. Sanchez was. Remember, Nola was your number 3 though.
Yeah, but it depended on who they were facing. That's why
He did it last year, John, because Sanchez pitched better at home. Remember, he couldn't pitch on the road. And this year, Sanchez is a little better on the road. So I think, even though he's still dominant at home, he's pitching a little better on the road. He still has his struggles on the road, but not as bad as last year.
That's what they said. They pitching a lot better on the road. Exactly. So that's my point. So I still think Thompson.
If I was the coach, I would already make up my mind that Painter's a young kid. I would bring him up, probably throw him in the pen just for this year. And Nola, I would give him a chance to start game 4 against Luzardo. Or Suarez. Maybe even if Suarez sucks and he turns it on, then maybe you could push to a game 3. There's always a chance he could push to a game 2 if Sanchez struggles, but I don't think Sanchez is a guy that's going to struggle like 5 straight starts in a row.
No.
So
and I'm looking at that because Wheeler, how much longer do you think Wheeler's going to be able to pitch?
Rest of his for how many years he have left in his career?
Yeah.
Wheeler already said that when his contract, and this is what reports said, when his contract's done, he's retiring. So if that's the case, he only has 2 more. He's retiring after 2 more years after this year.
And he's probably going to do that.
He said he wants to. He said he doesn't want to miss any more times with his daughters.
I agree, and I think that Sanchez, how old is he? And Suarez, how old is he?
They're in their 20s, I think. Why?
So those 2 guys, because Noah signed a 7-year contract, right?
Mm-hmm. And who knows? Wheeler might change his mind, but I don't know if Wheeler's really going to change his mind if he wants to go with his daughters. That's why I think the Phillies need to try to win. I would like to win at least 1 World Series, maybe 2. Not back to back, but kind of like how the Eagles won Super Bowls, how they won in those. I would like to give Zach Wheeler at least 2 rings. Harper get at least give those guys 1, maybe another, but at least get 1. And I think we can do it this year. I really do.
Yeah, like you said, and with the pitching, but him as a coach, it's the issue. Just hope that he bears down in the playoffs and doesn't fuck up.
Well, thing is, Thompson blew it 2 years in a row. So even if the Phillies lose, I don't know if they'll technically fire Thompson because he has the most wins in Phillies history, they said.
No kidding. Look at the team he's got.
So I don't know if they'll technically get rid of him, but how many years do you want him to lose in the playoffs? Do you want to get to the playoffs? Do you want to win the World Series?
They want to win the World Series.
You need a coach. You need a coach to sit Nola down and say, right now you're going in the bullpen, Nola, in the playoffs. If we get there, we're going to get there. But I always say if. I don't want to bring the jinx. Guys get hurt, so you always say if we get there. You need a guy to sit Nola down and say you may pitch game 4. Whoever pitches down the stretch, better down the stretch, you and Luzardo. But then you can say, but if you suck in your outing, then I may switch to Luzardo the next game 4. You gotta sit Nola down and break it down to him. He didn't have a good year. That's what I always do. My top 3 starters, your ace starts game 1, your second best pitcher game 2, and your third best pitcher game 3. I don't care what Nola did in the playoffs the last 2 years. Because last year he sucked. The year before he pitched pretty well, and the year before he pitched pretty well. This is a new year. He doesn't pitch hard. He doesn't locate. He has to pitch like Suarez. Suarez doesn't pitch hard, but the man locates.
Right. He pitches.
Nola doesn't pitch.
Right. And I agree.
Suarez.
And that's the thing. Like, every time the Phillies lose in the World Series, they don't hit. It's like the Orioles series. 5 games, they scored 4 runs in 5 games. 4 and 5, they were shut out.
Nola's got to pitch like Maddox.
Yeah.
He's got to pitch like Suarez. Locate. The guys that don't pitch hard, you got to locate. And he doesn't locate. And when he doesn't locate, where's the ball going? It might be going over your house, John. Look out the window.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something.
All right, good.
These guys here, the starting pitching staff is really doing a great job. And you know why? You got to give credit to JT.
I know. I hope they bring JT back, John. I really do.
Yeah, JT he has the knowledge of the game. He's very, very intelligent.
Do you think we win tomorrow? Do you think we win tomorrow?
Who's pitching for us tomorrow? You said
Luzardo.
1 o'clock tomorrow.
You watch that game tomorrow or no?
Yeah. I'm going over to my niece's house, but yeah, I'm watching it tomorrow. They should be Reds.
Will they have it on or no?
Absolutely.
Where outside will they have it on, or they don't have a TV outside?
Yeah, well, they have it like an enclosed portion, but you can see the TV from outside. You know what I'm saying? But the Reds themselves, you know, they're over 500 club. They're not pushovers. You know, they're tough at home, man. It's going to be a tough series. They really are.
Well, they're coming to Philadelphia, baby.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough series. You know, and that's what I like when they're tough series.
You don't like to blow anybody out, right?
Well, I mean, like you said, we won that game 13-0, and you know, and I knew that the next night they lost 6-1, and that's what happens a lot of times. Like, come on, man, can't you get more than a couple runs the next time around? I don't get it. Sometimes I don't understand it. You know, I just don't understand it sometimes. But even last night, the first game when Marsh got thrown out at third base, he should have been called out. I don't care what you said.
He missed him.
How you running the third when you know Schwarber's coming to bat?
He missed him, John.
Listen.
It's a clear fact. He missed him. Look at the replay.
Listen, I seen the replay. They're lucky they turned it over because it wasn't conclusive. I'm going to tell you something. I don't care. You don't run.
You're right. I agree with you. That was I don't even know why he run. He said he thought the guy wasn't going to throw it or the ball wasn't in front of him or whatever. I forget what he said, but I said, it doesn't matter. You ain't the tying run.
Yeah.
And there's 2 outs. Probably one of your best guys. I said, Schwarber's a man who can end it with 1 swing.
And that's what I was like shocked at. You know what I mean?
Did you see Schwarber? He wasn't going up there to try to tie the game.
Yeah.
He was going up there to try to win the game.
Yeah, and he should be. I mean, like, you got, like, steals, right? You got Turner with over 20 steals. You got Stott, who is in a slump for 2 years. But then you got Rojas, who can't hit. But he's got 11 steals. When he gets on base, he should automatically be running. I don't get it.
Look, John, I hate to break it to you, but you're right. But Rojas stinks. Okay.
Yeah, he stinks, but he's got 11 steals, dude.
I know, but he can't get on base. But you know who's hot, and I hate to say it, is I know he had that error, but Marchand's hitting the ball pretty well right now.
Well, I still think that JT's the man. And Marchand, he might be one of the guys going to go, dude. You know that, right?
Marsh, I know. But I'm saying, just deal with it while he's on the team. He's hot. He's on the team right now. As long as he's on the team, I told you he won me those pizza and wings from my Uncle Perry, so I'll support him wherever he goes. He got me 3 hits.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Rojas, like you're looking at his shit, and he doesn't hit the ball well, but he got to be bunting more. I think so. I mean, he's got 11 stories. He's got struck out 37 times. You know what I mean? 10 walks. 15 RBIs, 1 homer, 2 triples, 3 doubles. It's a shame. Yeah, it really is a shame for that kid. I like him, but what are you going to do? Batting 227 is bad news. I really think that Stott should be dead as a batter. I really do. They remember he had him leading off at one point.
Yeah.
They leading off and he was hitting the ball, and then they moved him out of the spot, put Turner there, which I love Turner leading off. Right?
Yup.
I love
John, I know what you're saying, John, but Rojas stinks.
Okay.
And
Who's
look,
who's going to play center field?
Marsh.
Marsh, yeah. No, well, you know what?
Rojas will play tomorrow and probably the day after because there's a lefty on the mound. But again, I don't know. That's how he's been doing it. Probably Kempin left, and then we get to see Kepler. John, I know you're a big Rojas guy. I'm not. I told you who Rojas reminds me of. He reminds me of Roman Quinn.
Yeah, I remember him. I liked him too.
But the thing they have difference is Roman Quinn could never stay healthy. Remember the one game against Tampa Bay where he was running around the basement and then he stopped and they're, what happened? He tore his Achilles.
Yeah, I remember that.
That man was fast.
Dude. And that's another thing. Like, I can't believe like these guys make the majors, and when they get there, like even if he bats 250, like that's good. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that 250 is good, but in today's world, it is good.
Schwarber bats 249, 250, but it's not bad for him because he also is 26 to 2 off. He also has like 26 homers.
And 58 RBIs.
Yeah, so 250 is not bad for him.
He's walked 62 times. 62 times.
They need to re-sign him, John.
Yeah, they will.
You know why? Because there's no one even we talked about this the other day. There's no one even close on him on homers.
No. They're definitely going to sign him.
Harper and how many homers is Nick? Kepler has the second because I think Kepler has 10.
Yeah, Kepler's got 10 homers. Turner's got 11. Nick's got 10.
Oh yeah, Turner's got 11 then.
Yeah, and Nick's got 10. Kepler's got 10. Harper's got 9, and that's about it. Really, 7 from Bo. Which Bo is probably going to be a 15 to 20 home run guy.
You know how bad our team, our offense is. Really, none of our hitters made the All-Star game. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
Lindor's starting in the All-Star game, and I think Turner has better numbers.
So we have no offense.
That's what.
Harper didn't make it?
No, he was hurt half the first half.
The people didn't vote for him?
Oh, that's right. It's a voting thing. No, I think I forgot to check who's playing first, but it might. I think Freeman's playing first.
I can't believe Harper didn't make it, people. Kids like Harper.
Yeah, only the starters are voted, John.
Right. So the rest of it is picked by the coaching, but they're not going to pick him then. They're not going to pick him. If the coaches are going to pick, they're not going to pick him, dude. They're not. Believe me, I'm shocked.
John, no one. The second shortstop in the All-Star game is Deli De La Cruz.
Damn. He's good, though, dude. He's good. And he's on the Reds. We're going to see him tomorrow, right?
Yup.
Yeah, I can't wait. That guy can play some ball, dude. There's no doubt. You know? I just can't wait to see him. He's really of a player. But that's good. 1 o'clock game's perfect. I think there's probably baseball on all day, I'm guessing, tomorrow, right?
Yup.
They got like a triple header.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's cool.
All
That'll be a good thing. All right, dude.
right, John.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow. Everybody hits.
Woohoo!
Turn two. Turn two.
Woohoo!
Say it, bud.
Later, Billy.
What question do you want me to answer, Paul? Pirates stink. Rojas stinks, and the Phillies are going to beat the Dodgers. I don't know what you expect from this, Paul, and I'm not giving you any cash to appear on my podcast, Paul. Harper is good. Is this what you wanted? Is this want me to go back and forth while you're answering text messages? Yeah, that's what I thought, Paul. Thanks for joining me on the Bubcast. My name's Billy Showtime Corsetti, and I'm out. Ryan Howard was good, Paul. What? I'm carrying dead air, Paul. Howard was good, Paul. Can I shut off my podcast now, or do you have another question? If you put it through, I'll answer it, Paul. I guess that's it. Bye, Paul.